Hello and welcome to my first social media detox day. So this is where I have a whole day of no social media, and it's like a social media get shit done day reading vlog day. This video is being sponsored by Skillshare, which I'll talk about later, and this was voted on by my Patreon supporters for something they wanted to see. So every month my Patreon supporters get to vote in a poll about a video topic that I'll do each month, and I talked about this, and they wanted to see it in vlog form, so here we are. So I do have a lot planned for today, probably a little bit over ambitious, but I'm like, you do spend a lot of time on like apps and stuff. Like I have the screen time function on my iPhone, and it tells you like how much time you're spending, you know, per day, and it's usually like some ridiculous amount of hours and all the stuff on social media. So if I can keep away from the hell device today, obviously, then hopefully I'll get a lot more done in my like to-do list section. So I have a lot of reading I want to get done. I have a lot of like errands around the house. I have some things outside the house I want to get done. It's overly ambitious, I think, regardless. I kind of know that a few things aren't going to get done, but I'm going to try to prioritize my day and take you along as best as possible. So like I mentioned, the screen time app is what I'm using. You can put limits on apps. So for today, I put a 24-hour limit on all of the like social media apps and really all of the like non-essential apps. So the only things that I have are like Spotify and podcasts to listen to while I'm doing stuff. But I'm like allowing myself like Google and email and stuff because it's not a complete digital detox. It's really just social media, and I want to work my way up to a point where I do like everything, like all tech. But right at this point I have a lot of tasks to get done that are still digital related, so I can't do that now. Maybe after I do a few social media detoxes, I'll get a lot of tasks done that are digital that I can then eventually transition to like a full digital detox. So if you're interested in continuing to see these kinds of vlogs, definitely let me know. I guess let me know at the end when you know if you actually like it. I have a very needy cat that has already eaten, but likes to act like she hasn't. Like she ate 2 minutes ago. And you walked away from your food, so I'm not really sure why you're like bothering me about it right now. So my first task for the day, besides like having breakfast and getting ready and going, is to head to a local park and take a walk. It's like a walk slash hike. There's some paved parts and then there's some like gravel trail parts. I want to get on the gravel trail parts because I think they're open, but I want to take the dog, and so I want to go early. So right now it's like not as early as I would have liked. It's like 10 to 9 right now. And I'm obviously not going to get there until probably like closer to 10, but I'm figuring the earlier I go in the day, the less people there are going to be, and Tally tends to bark other dogs. Tally barks other dogs, so I'm trying to train it out of her. So I'm bringing treats to train her while we're walking, but if I'm having to stop like every 2 seconds because there's dogs and she's barking, that's not going to be super productive. And I want to like hit a lot of birds with one stone, and I want to spend some time in nature and walk and stuff, because walking makes me feel really good and nature makes me feel really good and I like it a lot, and the dog will really enjoy a nice long walk, and it's in a nice like location that I can only really go to on the weekends. It's like 10 minutes away, but just during the week there's not enough time. And yeah, I was actually putting this on the wrong burner. So I'm making myself some oatmeal and some eggs, and then heading out to the park. I don't know if we're going to get park footage because I'm not bringing my camera with me, obviously, but yeah, that's the plan thus far for the first part of the day. And then I have a lot of tasks that I've decided I want to get done. I want to work on a number of spreads on my bullet journal, so my week spread. A lot of these things are things that I do every week, so I always like work on my weekly spread for the next week. I make some food for the next week for lunches and stuff. I tend to vacuum and do the litter. So that's all like stuff that I plan on doing anyway. But today, as far as like social media detoxing, I'm definitely going to get a lot more reading done, hopefully, because when I take breaks, instead of scrolling on my stupid phone, I'm going to be reading. So I'm reading Vicious right now, so you'll see me reading that, although I'm not going to be talking about it in any kind of spoilery way, reading vlog-wise. And I want to do some digital cleanup, so I want to go through my computer and my phone and delete any extraneous photos, put things on like external hard drives, get rid of apps that I don't really use that much, all of that, just kind of clean everything out that way. I also want to potentially organize my fridge, and taxes are getting really close and I've put them off the longest I've ever put them off, so I want to maybe start my taxes as well, which is again why it can't be a total digital detox, because I use TurboTax, not sponsored. What I use. So those are all the things that I'm going to get done, along with like obviously like I said, some cleaning type tasks and everything. So yeah, come along with me, see how successful I am. I tend to watch YouTube videos while eating, so I'll have to switch to like podcasts or just being more mindful and not doing anything else, but that's difficult. It might just be podcasts. I actually just decided that while I'm eating, I'm going to scroll through my phone and delete some phone apps and some pictures just to kind of like double task some stuff because, like I said, I have a lot to get done today. So I'm listening to a podcast, but I'm also going to be cleaning out apps.
Niece was sick, but she was like actually pretty good spirits most of the time, other than being a little sad. And then my other niece, who's 8 months old.
Okay, during breakfast I just deleted 180 photos, so that's great, but I still have a lot that I just need to like transfer elsewhere, I think. Just ones that have been on there a while and just need to go, and I got rid of a lot of screenshots. I'm someone that will chronically screenshot things to be like, remember this thing, and then when I go back and look at it, I'm like, I don't care that much. So cleaned those out. I'm at like 448 photos on there, which I know is not bad compared to some people's photos, but I want to get down even farther than that, potentially. So, but that requires me like putting them on my computer, putting them into folders, all that stuff, which will hopefully be later. So now I'm gonna go brush my teeth and then take the dog to the park. So we just got back from the park. Tally is very happy about going to the park, and it was pretty good. When I first got there, it was not very busy. As we stayed longer, it got busier, but we went back in like the wooded area. When we came out of the wooded area, there were 3 different dogs at like just the perfect interval that I had to keep sitting there with Tally to be like, don't bark at them. And she barked at 2 out of the 3. She just gets really overexcited. Just was like, this is the worst. This is why I can't walk later. Cause like by the time I was leaving, there were a lot of people. So I was gone for about an hour and a half and ended up also stopping and getting cat litter so I can change the litter box and depositing a check. So I've gotten a lot done so far. I think right now I'm just going to cool down a bit and read a couple chapters of Vengeful and then get going on other tasks and stuff. Might put some laundry in the laundry machine, all this kind of thing. I also just want to like, this is a general goal that I don't think is going to happen necessarily today, but there's a lot of just like random stuff on the floor that I haven't either hung up or gotten rid of or stuff just like in the perimeter of this room. And I notice when I vlog. So I kind of want to like figure something out about that, but that's more of like a long-term goal. Maybe one of my quarterly goals, because I will be brainstorming and writing my quarterly goals out today as well. Tally's very happy with her park situation, and now us, and especially now because she got some water. It's about time for lunch, so my sheets are in the dryer behind me. I am making some plantain chips and a black bean burger, and I'm gonna be listening to an audiobook while I'm doing all that. I am now editing a video so that this can save while I start doing some of my goal setting stuff, like brainstorming and everything. So I'm editing a Nevernight review. So I know this kind of goes without saying because people kind of know this, but I feel like it's the same thing when people like say like drink more water, and then you drink more water and you're like, I feel great. I feel so productive today already. It's only like almost 1:30 in the afternoon, and I feel like I've done so much. I feel like if I had social media today and like YouTube videos and everything else, I would have gotten this much done by like 4 in the afternoon or later, you know, and then it's like the day's basically done and I haven't done anything that I've really wanted to do for like the detox day or whatever. Like the world feels like my oyster. I mean, I'm definitely going to continue to do these days like once a month, but I might make it like every Sunday. I don't know. We'll see how I feel at the end of this day. But right now I'm like, I feel so good. I've gotten so much done. I am like doing all the things I want to do and have a lot of time, and I'm not feeling like rushed to relax, because I like to relax on Sundays too, but I want to get stuff done as well. So it's like I'm not battling that. So I'm going to read a few more chapters of Vengeful, and then I'm going to start my brainstorming for goals and doing some bullet journal stuff. So excited. So now I'm going to brainstorm some of my quarterly goals before adding them to my bullet journal officially. Since I have like a whole format, I'll show you how I do it. But yeah, I just want to think of some things that fit all of my categories for goals and such. I will link my like personal goals video on the screen for you to check out if you're interested in what some of my goals are. Because I have some overarching goals for the year, and then I pick quarterly goals that are smaller things to achieve each quarter. I just finished my quarterly goals page, just have to write the goals in. And I'm taking a small break. I washed my hair, now it's drying, air drying. You guys are probably familiar with this if you watch other vlogs. And I'm taking an ice cream break with one of my favorite flavors from Ben & Jerry's Chubby Hubby, which is, what is this? Vanilla malt ice cream with peanutty fudge covered pretzels with fudge and peanut buttery swirls. It's so freaking good. My other favorite is salted caramel core, which maybe I'll have later. So I just finished my quarterly goals page, writing in all of the goals and everything, and this time around I don't have quite as many smaller goals because I did so much at the beginning of the year and got so much done that now I have some more focused things, which is good. Kind of my focus is shifting from different realms to other realms. Like, I have all of my goals broken into financial, mental, physical, relationships, and I think just like miscellaneous, oh, and career, but I don't have any career things like right this minute. I might start thinking of like all of the things that I have my hands in as part of like the career section, because right now I just really had like get supervision taken care of for my LCSW, and like that's in the works now. So I feel like I might focus on that again in the future, but right now, instead of it being a lot of my beginning of the year goals were like some of the financial things, and I got a lot of those taken care of, so now it's moving more towards like some of the mental and physical stuff, so that's really cool. But there are a lot of goals there, and I like having them broken down into smaller bits to tackle. And that brings me to Skillshare, who, like I said earlier, are sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with over 25,000 different classes. These classes cover different topics like design, business, anything art related, all of these different things. I've talked about Skillshare before in the past. So if you have different goals you're trying to get through this year, and any of those topics that Skillshare might cover, you might want to check it out. Premium membership gives you unlimited access to all of those classes, and an annual subscription is less than $10 a month. Like I mentioned earlier, Skillshare has classes on things like goal setting and mindfulness and things that would go really well with a social media detox day. If you think you might be interested in Skillshare, I have a link down in my description, and the first 500 people who click on that link will get 2 months free to try it out. So with all that being said, I'm going to read some more Avengeful before, I think the next thing I'm going to do is probably some like digital clean out stuff. I've been kind of going through my photos on my phone. I really need to transfer them to my computer, and then also just like delete stuff off my computer. So I think that's the next big task. But look, I only have this much left in my book. Like, these books, like the series of hers, is so easy to read because the chapters are generally like really short, so you're just like, oh, I could just keep reading because there's only 2 more pages, and then the next chapter is like 3 pages, and it's just like the Dan Brown effect. If you're not familiar, Dan Brown, with all of his books, basically has like 5-page chapters, and it's actually a conscious decision that he makes, and why his books are probably like bestsellers, sort of like blockbuster type books, because they're so compulsively readable, because you're like, oh, I'll just read a few more pages, I'll just read a few more pages, and then you're done. So I feel like the villains books are very similar. So now I'm going to take some time and clear out some digital files on the computer before I switch the stuff from my phone over to the computer. So I just updated my 2019 book survey spreadsheet, and I'm going to go through and delete things that I don't need, maybe clean up this, what I don't use here, you know, all that fun computer stuff. All of this stuff in the trash to get deleted. So I am somebody who very frequently will screenshot things that I want to remember. So I want to get them off my phone though. So I'm going to put them into Google Keep in an album. I've already done it with some like advice things that I've gotten. Look at my nail. I know, I broke it trying to get into my Airbnb last week. But there's like, I usually screenshot things I want to buy or try out. So I am going to be putting those into a Google Keep as well. So I just put a lot of things into Google Keep, like I just said, with a bunch of screenshots. So I have like screenshots of apps that I want to try, screenshots of things I want to buy, or pictures I took of things I want to buy if I was at a store or something, advice things that I found that I've screenshot, and what else did I do? I think that might have been it. But I'm still, and then after I put it in Google Keep, I can delete it from my phone. But I don't necessarily want to put everything in Google Keep, and you have to do 1 photo at a time. So far, that's what I've discovered. So that's just a little tedious. But I hate how on an iPhone, you can put photos into albums, but that doesn't delete them from the main, like, cluttery thing. Like, I want everything in, like, nice, pretty folders, so I can, like, click on what I want, but you can't really do that. You just have the albums, and then the general is still, like, a clusterfuck. So I feel like that is a not intuitive thing that iPhone does, but I haven't quite decided yet if I want to move things into Google Keep or just keep them in the general like folder, and then what I want to take off. I've took a lot of the pictures off iCloud and downloaded them to my computer in folders, and then I'm downloading that onto external hard drives just to get them like completely off, but where I can still access them. So yeah, I've done a lot of that with like some travel photos and just some like older photos of the animals that I still want, but like I don't need to have a million photos on my phone. So I've gotten my photos down to 222, which I think is pretty good. But there's still some things like, it's just, photos on phones are just really disorderly. So if you have any tips, please let me know, besides the Google Keep thing and just putting things in albums and I guess never going in your general photos folder, but like, I just don't like it. So if you have a way of organizing photos on a phone, let your girl know, because I haven't found a good solution yet. So I have like less than 100 pages left. I'm probably gonna finish that tonight, but I'm just getting like very nervous. Did I say vicious again? It's vengeful. I can't get through my head to call this book vengeful, so I just keep calling it vicious, but you know, it's whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna read a little more of that. I think I'm gonna start also prepping some food components to have throughout the week. So sort of like meal prepping, but I just really prep like things and then I put them together as the week goes on. So it's helpful for my own sanity throughout the week. So I think that's my next task. Take a break from the technology for now because it's a lot. Here's dinner with kombucha again because it's my whole life. And this is a sort of like peanut tofu bowl with some quinoa and stuff. So I made another helping of this, some extra quinoa, and some buffalo tempeh for ingredients for the week. Okay, so now is the time of the night on Sundays where I always do my next week. And so I pull up my planner, like I have like a calendar planner. I'm not gonna show it to you because it has all of my appointments and stuff on it. I just realized my cat was in the litter box peeing in the background, but also like, you want real life, right? So I use my like calendar planner to then plan my bullet journal spread, and I put like all my tasks in my bullet journal spread. I just have like my basic like everyday stuff in the actual planner. Some people might be like, why don't you use just the one? But I don't want to like bring out my bullet journal like at work to just like write down appointments and stuff like that. So I use my bullet journal more for like lists and tasks and breaking down every like part of the day, and the planner is just like broad strokes. So every Sunday I bring out my planner and do my week spread and everything. And I just realized that I have something like literally every day after work this week, which is kind of like, I mean, that's sort of typical these days, but I'm just like, where do my nights go? I mean, just can't do self-care during the week ever. And the only day I don't have anything right now is Monday, tomorrow, and I'm actually thinking about going and seeing Captain Marvel tomorrow by myself probably. He is never this extra. Like I swear that my animals do the most when I'm recording. Like they do legitimately know, because they always like Tally barks way more, they get in my face, they like do stuff in the background. Like I swear to you, I swear. But I'm thinking I'll go see Captain Marvel tomorrow. I was gonna originally do it today potentially, but also I wanted to get a lot of stuff done today and I wouldn't have been able to Instagram my reaction, and I know that you guys appreciate that with my Marvel stuff. And I need to be ready for Endgame, and I can't go and watch Captain Marvel the same weekend as Game of Thrones. I actually have to buy like HBO Go or something so I can watch Game of Thrones. I'm already stressed out about Game of Thrones. I want to make Sundays my no social media day, but then that's when I'm like going to need social media to interact for Game of Thrones. Maybe I'll just use it for Game of Thrones interactions on Sundays. Because I'm very much liking this whole no social media thing, actually. Like I said earlier, I just feel like it's only 7. I feel like it should be 11 for how much I've gotten done. I'm not exaggerating. I'm probably going to get everything done on my checklist, which I wouldn't have believed possible, and would have been possible if I would have been fucking around on social media for like 2 hours combined from just scrolling and stuff. It's beautiful. So anyway, I'm planning my week. It's busy. This is what being an adult is like. I seriously sit here wondering like sometimes like, when is my break gonna happen? And it's like, you don't get breaks anymore. You are an adult. There is not summer break. There is like not really winter break, although I do typically take like a week for Christmas. I'm trying to travel more to get those little breaks and stuff because I used to never take time off. But man, there's just no time.
You are the sweetest little angel.
So I just got out of the shower because I'm about to record a podcast with Mari and Nicole from Snark Squad Pod. And I was like sitting here waiting for the podcast I was like, you know what, I can shower before the podcast and then I can go to bed like shortly after the podcast instead of having to shower and do my face routine and all this stuff. So right now I have an AHA, which is an alpha hydroxy acid, on my skin for some exfoliation. And I have a bunch of stuff set up because I'm going to kind of multitask while doing the podcast. I'm going to like paint my nails and stuff and do my skincare while I am talking about the topic for the podcast. I don't know if it's going to be out by the time that this is up, so I don't want to spoil it. But here's like my station of all the stuff. Like, have the microphone, have my like schedule and stuff, have my nail polish, have my skincare, have my water. These are all the things that I need to have. And yeah, at the end of the night, I will let you know if I got all of my tasks completed, but I think I'm going to, which is like astounding. All right, we finished the podcast. I finished my weekly spread for this week. I painted my toes. I did my skincare. I am ready for bed, obviously. The only thing I didn't get done was to organize my fridge, which I'm fine with because I wasn't super motivated to do so anyway, and I can do that on a random, like, next weekend. And I could have probably done it today, but I just chose to read more, which is a choice that I'm happy that I made. So this was the best. I just want to tell you, I feel so good. I feel like rejuvenated going into the week. Like I still am like work for tomorrow because like, you know, that's just like a Monday thing. But I'm like, oh, I got so much done. I feel good about my day. I didn't need to be like on social media. I mean, this helped because I could like update on my thoughts from my day like through this. So I get that this was like a little crutch training wheel situation, which I'll probably continue to do because these are fun to vlog. But yeah, overall just really good. Had a lot of things that I realized I like doing. So I would like to make this an every Sunday thing. We'll see if that's possible. You know, I'm not gonna beat myself up if like for some reason I have to use social media one day or whatever, but yeah, I feel good. I feel restored. I don't feel like I missed out on anything. This was fantastic. So thank you for joining me. I hope you liked it. Comment down below, let me know if you did, and if there's like, if you want to keep seeing these things, if these are things that you would like me to do like more often. Let me know your thoughts on my life. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye.